So what if every church and synagogue and mosque and spiritual center and Native American gathering and naturalists and atheists, what if we all did this together? What if we all did this together? I think we'd wage peace. Thank you so much. So this month's theme is Born to Learn, and we're at the end of it. Last talk of the theme, Born to Learn. So what do you think? Are we born to learn? I think we are lifelong learners. I really do. I know. Well, I think we spend a lifetime learning and unlearning things, right? Learning and unlearning, learning and unlearning. I'm not sure of the description I hear sometimes where people say, oh, life is a classroom and you're here to learn lessons and you got to get it before you can move on or something like that. I don't know. I don't really know about that. And then it takes you like so many times and you have to graduate like going through elementary school. I don't know. What I know is the truth of us is that we are spirit and form, so we really, really have everything within us. So really, what is there to learn? I think that what we're doing is we're remembering. I think almost like a great amnesia falls over us when we come into physical form, and we just have to remember who we are. And I think that's more like it, because spirit is the self-givingness. Spirit is always the self-givingness to its form, to the expression of itself, and we are that. Anything in form is the expression of spirit. It's a thought God is having. And so we are that. So we come with everything. We talk about, I don't remember, Rumi maybe said, about how we're not the entire ocean. We're not all of God, but everything that God is contained within us. We're not the whole ocean, but we are the drop of the ocean. So everything that the ocean is contained in that drop, and that's what we are. We may not be all of God, but everything that God is in us. Spirit expresses into form for the experience of it, right? You know the difference between I know something is true and I experience it. So I really think that God is just having a grand old time as us, and that's what we are. We're the outpicturing that God is having. We are the experience that wisdom is having. We're the experience that love is having. In the spiritual universe, and Ernest Holmes said this, he said, what is life in its broadest sense? It is the impartation of the Spirit in us, the source of everything we are, or hope to be, or have. And it gives in joy and without reservation, in complete abandonment. Life is a universal quality that is shared alike by all animate things. Everything in the universe lives only because it has a divine spark incarnated in it. And we might say that this spark appears to have different degrees of expression. It makes the grass grow, makes the grass green. That was my addition, sorry. It makes the birds sing. It is the genius of the artist, the dance of the dancer, the message of the Christ. The conclusion that God is all there is means that all there is God occupied, God personified, God individualized, God in everything as that thing. God is the givingness. So all that we are is spirit. We're temporarily housed in a body, and we know how temporary that is. And everything comes and goes at the physical level. Everything comes and goes at the level of the universe, of the manifest universe. Everything changes. That's the one constant, is that everything changes. But in spirit, there is no change. It is eternal. It is eternal, and the givingness and the qualities of God are eternal qualities. Spirit is givingness, and I really think that's really all there is to it. That spirit expresses into form, and we are that. Spirit expresses into form, and we are that. And we are spirit expressing. And when we are learning, spirit is experiencing learning. Spirit's not learning because spirit is all wisdom, right? So it already has everything. But it experiences learning in our form and what that's like. And how each one of us does it in our own individual way. Think about it. There's 7 billion of us walking around Each one of us having our own experience. Each one of us having a unique experience, totally, totally different from anyone else on the planet. And Spirit is experiencing all of that. All of that. That's a grand, grand experience. So getting back to lifelong learners. Are we lifelong learners? Yeah, I think so. I think every moment we're alive, we're learning something. You know, studies say that people in our faith tradition in particular are lifelong learners. We are into that, growing and changing and being better than we were yesterday. You know, it's not a competition. I'm not going to be more enlightened than the person next to me or less than the person before me. It's that I'm better than the person I was yesterday. I'm more evolved than the person I was yesterday. And I really, really think that that's our journey through life, is that learning and then unlearning the things that we learn that are not true about us. You know, we are spirit, soul, and body, and we are expressing and learning and growing, and our soul does not even care whether we're having happy experiences or sad experiences. The soul is in it for the experience. The soul is craving connection and craving experience, any experience, all experiences, the full richness of life from the heights of extreme gladness and bliss to the depths of sorrow. The soul wants to experience it all, the whole richness, the whole tapestry of life. It's our ego that's planning and plotting and wanting only the good stuff, you know? I want all the springs and summers. I want all of the rainbows and the puppy dog breath and, and the happiness. And this stuff, no, I've done that, been there, don't want any of that. It's our ego that's like, pursuing one and running from the other. But our soul doesn't judge like that. It just craves experience. But here's the interesting thing. When we go back to the qualities of God, we're born happy, aren't we? Joy is a quality of God. Joy is a quality of God. And in God, there is no opposite. Here at the physical level, we create opposites. We do. We create opposites. We create that dualism, happy, sad, day, night, love, hate. We do all that stuff. We play all those games. But in the qualities of God, you'll know there are no opposites. There's only abundance and beauty and joy and harmony and love and peace. Peace. That song. So, I totally forgot where I was. I don't usually do that. Sorry about that. So we are that, expressing. We are that. We are that. So all of the stuff we learn and all of the stuff we unlearn, we uncover the truth of us, what's inside. And what's inside are all the qualities of God. And we were born happy. We were born joy, because joy is a quality of God, and so it's a quality of us. So I think, yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. Am I happy? Yeah, I'm happy. But then you start thinking about happy. All right, God is joy. I get that. God is joy. God is that underlying joy that just can never be anything else but that, regardless of circumstances and regardless of conditions. God is joy. But I think about, am I happy? Am I happy? Yeah, well, maybe sometimes. I don't know. I think happiness is a response to conditions. Not exactly a quality of God, if you think about it like that. It's a response to conditions. I'm happy because things worked out the way I wanted them to. Yay me. I'm happy because I got something that I have been really, really desiring, wanting, owning, proceeding as if. And then it's like, yay, and it appeared in my condition. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy because I got that really, really first date with that hottie. I'm only kidding, Larry, really. But way back when. Okay. I'm happy, right? I'm happy. I'm getting all dressed. I'm excited. I'm like, my adrenaline is rushing. Did you ever notice when you're doing that first date thing and you're terrified and you're excited and you're getting all fixed up, it's like, you don't know if the person is coming over to date you or to kill you. It's the same response, It's that incredible adrenaline thing. Anyway, you're happy. You're happy. You're happy, It's like really weird. Happy is dependent on the condition. So what happens when things don't work out the way we want them to, the way our ego thinks they ought to work out? What happens? Oh, bye-bye, happy. Now we're the quality of God known as sad? No, see, I don't think so. There is no opposites in the qualities of God. There is no opposites in first cause. So what happens when things don't work out the way our little ego thinks that they should or they ought to? Yeah, we're back on that roller coaster of life. Yay, happy, sad, happy, sad, happy, sad. We're doing that roller coaster thing. Pleasure is dependent on outer conditions. Happy when things go the way our ego wants, sad when they don't, you know? And what happens there? What happens in that place where we failed the test instead of acing the class? Or, we get dumped by that hottie that we were so excited about that we were going to date. What happens then? Happy, sad, happy, sad, happy, sad. We're on that roller coaster again of life. We are at the effect of the conditions of life that we've co-created. We're the victims. We're the victims of life. That happy, sad, happy, sad, happy, sad wave is a response to the conditions of life. When everything is going the way we want them to, we're happy. When things are unexpectedly pop up, things are not going the way we think they ought to, we're sad. And then we're God out picturing as a whiner. Here we are happy, everything's wonderful, we're going along having a great time. We're giving God a great time, right? When we're happy, it's all fun and games. And then we're sad, and then we're God out picturing as whiners. Really, honestly, can it get better than that? I mean, it's got to get better than that. It's got to. There has to be a better way. I am. I love that phrase. I am. It's an affirmation in our lives. So I am spirit and form. I am the qualities of God that we talk about all the time. I am that. That seed of perfection that is nestled within me contains all of it, all of those qualities of God. I can go to that place. And that place is well-being. And well-being is a wonderful, wonderful set point for us. God is abundance, God is beauty, God is balance, God is joy and order and peace and power and love and unity. That's our set point. That's who we truly are. That well-beingness in this moment, right here, right now, regardless of what's going on in my outer condition, I am at peace. Because right here, right now, my heart is beating. My breath is breathing in, breathing out. My blood is circulating. All is well. All is well. And in that present moment, that is the truth of us. That is the truth of us. And when we practice well-being, it is not dependent on the outer conditions. Anything can happen. Anything can be going on. All sorts of chaos can be going on around you, and you are perfectly centered. You are anchored in the truth of who you are. We are well-being. Whether things look good or bad, whether things have highs or lows, whether things are working out the way we think they ought to, or whether they're just going haywire, we call upon that place, that peaceful place. We are not attached to having things be a certain way in order to be happy. And we can get off the roller coaster. I mean, be on the roller coaster if you like it. Just don't think it's the truth of you. Sometimes we do really, really like to create drama. Really. Some of us really create good drama. Some of it's melodrama and it's cheap drama. You don't want that kind. But the good stuff is okay. But just remember, it's not the truth of us. Go back to those qualities of God. Go back to that underlying wholeness. Wholeness is the truth of us. Wholeness, that means lacking nothing, having everything that we need. Our emotions can rise and fall. The emotions are the play out on the world. It is the play of life upon the conditions. Oh, we can be emotional all we want. We can observe ourselves going through all kinds of stuff, right? We observe ourselves being sad and being dramatic and being happy and being blissed out, and we can observe ourselves doing all of that stuff and still come from that place of wholeness and know the truth of who we are and what we are. I am. It is an affirmation. It's an affirmation in our lives. I am. Fill in the blank. What is it? It is an affirmation. It's a truth that you're telling yourself over and over and over again. I am, and whatever we end that sentence with is our affirmation in that moment. I am happy. Okay. I am sad. I am miserable. I am broke. I'm sick. I'm spirit in form. I'm spirit in form. I am whole, perfect, and complete. I am. I am. I am. I am all of the above sometimes. And can't we go through them so rapidly? Happy, sad, angry, jealous. Just all kinds of things we can go through. But what underlies all of it is that well-being. I am here. I am alive. I am spirit in form. I am whole, perfect, and complete. That does not depend on conditions. That is the truth of us. But yeah, and inevitably, let's talk about my big butt. but what happens when we forget that? What happens? We go to the self-help books, don't we? How many do we have on our shelves? Oh my God, I think we have spent a lifetime collecting self-help books. What to do when you're not feeling it, I am, but what to do when you don't feel like. I'm sure everybody's bookshelf at home has all kinds of those books, right? And so we go to them and we reread them and we reread them and we do those things and we get the lists and we go down the checkoffs and we do that. And all of that is really, really great stuff to remind us of the truth of who we are. And we can read things as guides and we can practice the lists and we have all kinds of resources to consult. And there are lists that we can refer to. And they're all great intellectual exercises to help us to try to retrain our go-to thoughts. That where is our default setting? So we use the lists, and they're good lists. I'm not being critical of them. But a lot of this stuff is the work that we're doing in our head, and it's really, it hasn't dropped down into our heart space yet. But the lists are great. It's a way to get there. These are all stepping stones on the way to really knowing our wholeness. Because if we can think about our wholeness, if we can reason our wholeness, we're thinking eventually we can really operate from that wholeness. So there's things we can do. I got a list, as a matter of fact. So one is accept the moment for what it is. Accept the moment for what it is, without judging it. Oh, look, here we are, right here, right now. Look at this, flat tire. Imagine that. Whatever. What does it mean? It has no meaning. It has no meaning other than the meaning we give it. 2, define yourself in fluid terms. This is really important. I like this one. Define yourself in fluid terms. Why? Because you're not the you were yesterday. You're not the you that you were before you heard the song. You're not the you were before you sang the song. We change all the time. Remember the growing, learning, unlearning thing? We're doing that all the time. So you're not the you were this morning. You're not the you certainly you were last year. And you're not going to be the you that you are next year. We define ourselves in fluid terms so we don't lock ourselves into behaviors, to thought patterns, and we don't stifle our growth. Because when we know ourselves and we know exactly who we are and what we like and what we don't like, and we put ourselves in our own box, we don't give ourselves way to grow. I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a, whatever, and this is me, and I know this, and I like this, and I don't like this, and blah, blah. Then you stifle your own growth. We stifle ourselves by knowing ourselves. So think of yourselves in fluid terms, like that river. We are flowing, we are growing, we are changing every moment of every day. Enjoy the now. Here's another one. Enjoy the now. Whatever is in front of us to do, just enjoy the heck out of it. It may not come again. Say goodbye to people, right? You may not see them again. Wow, that was a shock. Enjoy the now. Enjoy the now. And another one, focus on love, not fear. We have a choice every moment of every day to be in fear or to be in love. Fear, love, fear, love, fear, love, We have that choice, always. Choose love. Always choose love. Always choose the highest and best. Be your own best friend. This is a wonderful one. Remember that old book? It was an ancient thing. I mean, it's been around forever and ever. But it's really true. Be your own best friend. Take yourself out to the show. Take yourself out to dinner. Enjoy your own company. Because what that does is it expands us and it allows us to enjoy other people without having to judge them. You know, it's a wonderful thing to be able to spend time and love spending time with ourselves. Oh, and here's another one I really like. Narrate calmly. Don't you love that? Narrate calmly. You know how you're always narrating your life in your head? You are always, aren't you? You're always driving down the road thinking about what you're going to do next. You always have this narration going on in your head. We all do. We all do. We're narrating our lives, you know? Narrate calmly. Put the best spin on it that you can. It's a story anyway. It's only a story that you're making up in your head. Make a good one. Do it calmly. Question attachments. I love that. Question attachments. When you find yourself attached to whatever, your career, your job, your house, your cat, your whatever, your clothes, your paycheck, question the attachment. Why? Why am I attached to this? What's this all about? What is this? What do I think this means about me? Because everything changes at the level of effect. Everything changes. And when we're attached to things, we make them us instead of just about what they're about. And then what happens when it goes away? Then not only does the thing go away, but then we think it's a part of us that we've lost. And it isn't. It's just a thing. So question your attachments. Why? Why am I attached to that? Oh, and here's one that I struggle with on a daily basis. Release the need to know. Ooh, why is that on the list? Release the need to know, but I need to know. You know, I think I've told you before, when I was younger, I used to, if I really, really liked a book I was reading, a novel, I would have to go back and read the last 3 paragraphs or the last couple of chapters and find out how it came out, or else I wouldn't finish reading the book. I don't want to read it unless I know how it comes out at the end. That's a horrible thing to do. And you know, if I was going on a date or I was going to the movies or something and somebody went, oh, yeah, I saw that. It was really good. I went, how did it come out? Because I didn't want to go to the movie unless I know how it ended. You know, I wanted to know how it ended. Oh, good grief. You know, I struggle with that one on a daily basis. I'm getting much better at it. I'm getting much better at not needing to know. We'll talk about confidentiality later. Calmly. I'll do it calmly. Something else on the list. Moving along. Serve a purpose. What a great thing to do with our lives. Serve a purpose. You know, when you get attached to something greater than we are, it so helps. It so helps for us to be in that situation, like this spiritual community. Being here, volunteering here, anything that you do here, you're serving a greater purpose. This is a spiritual community that just loves and adores each other. And you know, we feel it just as soon as we walk through the doors. And people comment on it. People who are not even members of Vision come in and they say, oh my gosh, I feel so at home here. I love it. It's because we are serving something greater than just this individual. We're serving the spiritual community, and it's wonderful. And then this spiritual community goes out and serves in the outside world. We're doing the Out of the Darkness Walk for Suicide Prevention on the 18th. We have an opportunity, was it November 1st, I think? We have an opportunity to serve Habitat for Humanity again. We haven't done that in years and years, and what a wonderful thing that is to do. So it's about serving a purpose, you know, being aligned with a greater vision, greater than just your own personal life. What else? Number 10, practice gratitude. Wasn't that in every single spiritual or self-help book we have ever read? Practice gratitude. You cannot expect to have anything else if you're not grateful for what you have. Practice gratitude. So all of these ideas are wonderful. They are wonderful. And, wow, and they're all intellectual. And they're all in your head. And they're all things to do and things to think. But what happens when that doesn't work? What happens when, you know, we've fallen and we just can't get up? They remind us of what we should be thinking about and what we should be practicing. And that does awaken us to the I am. But sometimes, we are just sad, lonely, frightened, wretched little creatures. And no matter what we think, it just doesn't help, The thoughts don't travel down to the heart. And that is the place, that is the moment when we are saved by grace. When we have nothing else to do, we can't think of another thing, we've gone through all the lists, and we're still frightened and alone, and in grief and in sorrow, and we can't think of another thing. We can't think of another thing to remember or to do or to say. That is when we are held in the arms of Spirit and we are uplifted by grace. We get caught up in the conditions, and we get caught up in the drama, and we get caught up in the desires and the attachments, and we want it the way we want it, and when we get through all of that and we go to the feeling level of it, when the intellect just shuts down and stops talking to us, and there's nothing else but just the feeling level. When the intellect fails us, boy, that is the best place in the world to be. Because then we are in grace. Then we are in grace. That's when we fall into the arms of God, because there's no place else to go. I know Abraham Lincoln once said, sometimes I fall to my knees in prayer just knowing that I have no other place to go. No other place to go. And in that moment of surrender, grace envelops us. And we know without thinking, without intellectualizing, without figuring it out, we know, we get it. We understand the I am. The truth of us. I am. We are saved from the struggling and the craving and the grasping and the clutching because we remember who we are. Ernest Holmes said, "This I am, which is within us, is God, the living Spirit Almighty, branching out through us into self-expression. The tree of life flourishes in our experience when watered at its roots with quiet contemplation of the union of the soul with its source. Our consciousness is rooted in this divine presence and should branch out into all of our actions. Our actions are the fruit of this tree of life." Spirit is abundance. That I am. Spirit is love. That I am. Spirit is joy. That I am. Spirit is wisdom. That I am. Spirit is peace. Spirit is peace. That I am. We have to reject the stories and the fears and remember the I am. The I am that is you, that lives within you. Judith Hill wrote this prayer that's called Wage Peace. I love that expression. Wage peace with your breath. She wrote this a while back, you'll get it. Wage peace with your breath. Breathe in firemen and rubble, and breathe out whole buildings and flocks of red-winged blackbirds. Breathe in terrorists, and breathe out sleeping children and freshly mown fields. Breathe in conditions and confusion, and breathe out maple trees. Breathe in the fallen, and breathe out lifelong friendships intact. Wage peace with your listening. Hearing sirens, pray loud. Remember your tools: flower seeds, clothespins, clean rivers. Make soup. Play music. Memorize the words for thank you in 3 different languages. Wage peace. Never has the world seemed so fresh and so precious. Have a cup of tea and rejoice. Celebrate today. Celebrate today. Remember the I am, that incredible energy that we call spirit, that breathes life to every single part of the universe with its every thought. Remember the energy which is God, creates everything out of itself. So we are all that energy, that God self. Remember the energy of all creation, and remember that we are part of that one life of God's, that we are containing all of the aspects of the one. Remember that each and every one of us is the I am. Thank you.